Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh Ji. I've been thinking about my dari for a long time. I tied my beard, and I've been doing this for the last 30 odd years and going to work like this. And for the last year or so it's been on my mind, is this right, and should my beard be open? I've been thinking about not going to work with a tied beard. And the reason I've been doing this is because my father did it, and his peers did it, and we've just followed suit, not understanding why we do this, and also the impression that we give by tying a beard is that we're a Sikh gentleman, which is something to think about really, because I don't really know what that means anymore, and it seems to be more like an invention of the British to tame the Sikh spirit for many years. And the Dara itself was introduced and the more we read ithihaas and history, it seems to have been introduced around the time of the British, the soldiers who went into the Sikh soldiers who went into the army, British Army, and this is the kind of group and swoop that they started to form, and this has been now a very predominant way of presenting yourself for the last 100 years or so now. But the more I read, and the more I read the ithihaas, the more I start to wonder and question why we do this. And we came across this sakha of Prem Das Udasi, with a direct conversation with Guru Gobind Singh Ji, and this is in Guru Kisakya, which you can buy, and I recommend you really do buy it from the Turiya charity website. And in that they state very clearly that if you want to have darshan of Guru Gobind Singh Ji, then open your dara, have a full open dara, and you can play with the dara, use that dara to get the darshan of Guru Gobind Singh Ji. They will also go on further in that sakha, and I'll post that later on here, to be very specific about someone who does tie the beard and turn their beard up, and how they should be punishable, and the beard should never be dyed in colour. It should always be the natural colour, and this is the thing that the Almighty has bestowed upon a Sikh, and this is the gift of Guru Gobind Singh Ji to a Sikh. So it led me wondering to think about this a lot more, and I'm starting to think, why else would this, and how else does this relate? And there's a sakha of Ram Rai that comes to mind, where Ram Rai went and changed the Bani in order to suit himself, to suit the Mughal emperors, to make them hear what they wanted to hear, and he was ostracised by the Gurus by allowing that to happen. And if we believe or understand or realise that a Guru has many forms, and not only just Bani, but he's also physical form is a form of Guru, and if we alter that and change that from that original form, then are we not doing the same thing as Ram Rai by altering the form of Guru? If we are doing that, then does that not mean that we are not accepting Guru Gobind Singh as who they are, as they are? From what we understand, the Dara, from what we've read so far, the Dara represents the Mani, the Mard, the Roop of the Guru, and to hide the Dara, it suggests that we are hiding the form of Guru from ourselves and the world, and it also lessens the rishta that we have, the relationship we have with our Guru. So the Ram Rai sakha in this case is turned into a physical equivalent of that sakha, where we've altered Bani, but here we're altering the Guru's form. And if you read the Bani, if you read the sakha, the Guru seems to be quite strict on this point, very firm and very direct on this point. A Sikh who ties the beard or turns up and ties facial hair will be punishable, and those are the words that they use, which is actually something, it really gives me something to think about. So what I've decided to do is to say, okay, this has given me an impetus to finish off this year-long or more vichar that we've been having in our own mind, and to just see if we can take that step and make that change in our lives. Now, it's not a straightforward thing to do if you've been tying your beard for 30 years, and I know there's lots of Singhs who do that now, and it's not an easy thing to just open your beard and go away and go to work the next day and be seen with a full prakash of Tara. And there are many reasons, because I'm not used to doing that, so it's taking me out of my comfort zone. First of all, it's going to, I'm going to be worried about what do people think, what does my family think, what does my wife think, because she's always seen me like this in her family as well. And my father-in-law is also has a tied beard. He's been doing that ever since I've known him, and ever since he's for many years, 70 years or so. So there's a lot of changes that you've got to go through yourself in order to make yourself do something like this. But if you then believe that you believe in Guru and you want to make that change, then it's something that you've got to do. You've got to make that small step, however difficult or uncomfortable it is, to walk towards Guru yourself. Now, in my life, I've looked back and said, have I got examples of where we've done things like this before? And I do. One of the examples is that when I was very young, I did cut my hair, and after we came back from university and started working, we grew our hair long again. And then one day going back to work, I made a decision, after a lot of pressure from my mum, not pressure, but a lot of comments from my mother, that grow your hair long or cut it. It doesn't look very tidy at that time. So I made a decision, actually, I'm going to keep the star back on. And that's what I did. So I went to work, and the Friday night I told my work colleagues and people I worked with, I'm going to come to work in the morning, next Monday morning, wearing a turban. And that's what I did. And at that time I was working for a Japanese bank, and in the city. I work in the city, and it was interesting because during that morning, the whole morning was just spent me at my desk, but all my Japanese managers walking past, stopping at my desk, looking at me, being very confused and walking away, until lunchtime. Everybody called me into the main boardroom for a meeting, and they wanted to ask what was going on with the star at that time, and I put on. And again, my boss came in because I'd already pre-warned him, and I explained, this is my religion, my faith. It's something I have to do. It doesn't affect my work, and as far as I'm concerned, this is a personal thing. And they seem to get very comfortable with that as well at that point in time. So I do know how it feels, how it works, and so there's no reason really for me not to try to do this now, especially when I've read this sakha from Guru Gobind Singh, and the direct instructions or the direct comments that they make about a tied beard. I know there's many of you out there, many Singhs out there who do the same as I do, and they've never even thought about it because it's just been accepted. Well, my friends, it's when you start doing your own college and your own research, you find that actually what we do is not necessarily what the Guru wanted from us. So I'm going to try to do this, and I will give an update, and I'll come back and give an update to how this went, and Guru Rakha, that everything goes well. Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh.